Shalom, shalom. I'm going to start off this video giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops at a great millstone that rule well, teach well, while learning truth, 100% according to the Bible. Also want to say shalom to the elect, the 144,000 men, prophets, servants scattered abroad the four corners of the earth. And shalom to you, Hakwaf, which are you few sisters out there that are sincere, your children. Shalom. And in today's video, as you can see, is going to be building off of this article that I got through the Spirit. And as you can see from the title, it says the Pentagon orders quick reaction force of 500 troops per state. You see, so ultimately you got, Pentagon and Donald Trump and all of these other different, politicians that are ultimately putting together these task force of the military, and they're ultimately getting ready to send them out to all cities throughout America. And the men of the Lord, you see, starting off with the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone, we've been warning you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians that these devils, right, these Edomites are getting ready to come in with great wrath. As it tells us right here, I'm going to grab Revelations chapter 12 and verse 12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, right, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, has come down into you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. And this is ultimately what we see taking place. You see, because martial law is a part of prophecy, and we know that the Lord is going to put the spirit on these devils to come full force in with this military, man. You see, the military are going to be the new police force, man, here in America. That's what's coming. You see. So I'm going to actually, continue to just read on down in the article, right? And as you can see, it says the National Guard is building a quick reaction force, right? A QRF of some 23,500 troops trained in crowd control and civil disturbance that can be ready to deploy to the U.S. cities by early as next year, according to a leaked memo reported by multiple outlets on Wednesday. You see, so you ultimately got these devils saying, they're preparing these forces ultimately for civil unrest, you see, and we definitely know that we're in a time and season of, civil war and all of these different things getting ready to happen here soon in America. And these devils know that as well. That's why they're already putting all of their forces and everything in place so that when these things happen, they're going to ultimately combat it. You see, but Esau want these things to happen, you see, ordo ab chaos, you see, because ultimately this man is creating the problem. He's going to look at the reaction of the people, and then he's going to come in with the solution. That's why it's no coincidence you got him doing all of these things right along with them getting ready to, shut the SNAP EBT or the food stamps off for these people as of November the 1st. And we already hear what these Babylonian people are saying, that if their food stamps does not come, that, they're going to be looting and doing all this different type of madness. So, hey, we're definitely in those times of, these things getting ready to come to pass real soon. You see, and ultimately, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is the one that's getting ready to bring these things, right? This is Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. It says, think not that I'm come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. You see, so the Lord ain't bringing no good times here to America. The only thing that's coming to this place, you see, real soon are evils, man, chaos. You see, calamities, all type of different, things that people can't imagine. That's what's getting ready to happen here soon in this place, America. And that's what we ultimately see the stage being set for. You see, that's why, like I said, these devils are putting these troops in place, man, because they know that it's only a matter of time before these American people begin to bug out, man. You see, especially, once everything really starts to get worse than what we see ultimately happening now, because you still got jobs that are laying people off, people not being able to work, people not being able to make ends meet. You see, ultimately, due to how everything is going in this country, the price of living is extremely high. So people are already in that spirit of ready to crash out, man. And any little thing that happens is ultimately going to trigger these people, man. You see? And like I said, civil unrest, will happen, man, because ultimately, that's prophecy as well. The Lord says in the scriptures that nation shall rise against nation, right? That's these different people ultimately fighting against each other, man. That's going to be occurring here in the streets of America soon come, And I'm going to actually go to Isaiah chapter 19, right? And I'll start at verse 1. And I'll read down to verse 4. It says the burden of Egypt, right? Egypt is talking about this place, America, which is spiritually Sodom and Egypt, right? It says, behold, the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it, right? Verse 2, it said, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, right? You Americans, and they shall fight, right? That's your civil war. Everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom, you see? And like I said, civil war is a part of the prophecies. The Lord is going to bring these things upon this place, America, you see, and we're definitely in that time of season now where these things are about to manifest, Verse 3, It says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards, right? Talking about these elites, man, right? Ultimately trying to seek to their witches and all of these different left-hand spirits that they're dealing with, and they're going to fail them in these times, man, because ultimately the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, he controls the left-hand side, man. You see? Verse 4, it says, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord. And that's Nero Trump, man. You see, that's why he's the man that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is using in these times to bring all of these things in, because he is that cruel Lord, right? It says, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts. And we see that Trump is that fierce king, man, because ultimately, since this man has gotten to the so-called White House, everything that he's been doing has ultimately been going against the Constitution, man. And the people see those things, man. You see, this is why ultimately you have a lot of people in an uproar as well, because they see that this man Trump is not abiding by the Constitution. You see, by ultimately deploying National Guards to these various cities throughout America, that goes against the Posse Comitatus Act. But like I said, this devil is the cruel Lord, and the Lord has him in the office for this time and season, ultimately for these prophecies that are about to unfold and happen. You see, so the Lord is using this man Trump, you see, and a lot of these people don't understand that, you know. But he is being used for prophecy's sake. And he's going to be the man that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to use ultimately, you know, to set these things off here in America that's soon about to come. Because like I said, look at all of the laws he's putting in place. I mean, look at everything he's doing. You see, the economy is getting worse. Like I said, more people being laid off left and right. People are absolutely, you know, bugging out, man. You see, ultimately due to everything that this man is doing. And like I said, the things that he's doing eventually soon come is going to set a reaction off in these people, man. Because, I mean, these people already don't like the things he's doing. Even the same people that voted for this devil just a few months back, you know, a lot of MAGA supporters and people like that, they're eventually now going against this man Trump because they don't like the things that he's doing. You see, because ultimately this man promised that he was going to save this country. And as these people can see, things is only continuing to get worse in this place. It's not getting better. You see? So like I said, that's going to lead to the chaos that's about to happen, man. Right. And I'm going to grab this precept as well. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 13. I'm going to start at verse 29. It says, behold, the day is come when the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. That's talking about the elect, man. Verse 30. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. Right. Verse 31. It says, and one shall undertake to fight against another one, city against another one, place against another one, people against another one, realm against another. And that's what we're about to see happening here soon come in America, man. You see one people fighting against another with swords in their hands, which those swords today are the guns. You see, that's what's getting ready to happen. Because like I said, once these American people realize that everything that they've been told was a lie, you see, and a lot of them are realizing that now. That's why these people are in the spirit of ready to crash out, man. You go to all of these different, you know, social media platforms, whether it be, you know, TikTok or YouTube, Instagram. That's all you see these people doing are complaining, you see, and ready to bug out over any little thing, man. You see, so like I said, the Lord is going to put the spirit on these people real soon to, you know, just start taking matters into their own hands. You see, looting, you know, stealing, and just doing a whole bunch of mayhem and chaos, man. That's what ultimately is about to come upon this country, man. You see. So I'm going to get into this video that I also got as well, you see, which is basically touching on the same thing that I brought out earlier in the article of the things that you ultimately have Trump putting in place. You see that out to come, right? So I'm going to get straight into it. But before I start it, I'm going to say fair use. You know, I'm not getting paid for this video. This is only for educational purposes only. Fair use.
All your life, learn one of the exceptional things about America is that we don't allow our military to be used against our own people. And then along comes a president who wonders why you can't shoot protesters in the legs. And here we are with American troops patrolling American streets. Now, federal courts have largely disagreed with Trump's legal analysis, such as it is, the one that you heard there. They have halted planned National Guard deployments in both Oregon and Illinois as those cases work their way through the appeals process. There are still hundreds of Guard soldiers in Los Angeles on Trump's orders, though, again, a lower court judge said they couldn't be there, as well as in Washington, where they continue to do things like pick up litter and stand around. Now, again, most of them are stationed far from their families and livelihoods. These are Guard troops. Now Trump's Pentagon has ordered the National Guard to create what's called quick reaction forces of up to 500 soldiers in every state and territory by January. Those units are expected to respond to riots and civil unrest in the U.S.
right? And you hear what it is the guy's saying. They're preparing these forces and trying to have them in place before January. So that's letting you know that, all hell is getting ready to break loose. And these things that the men of the Lord, you see, starting off with the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone, have been speaking through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right along with the affiliate brothers and the men that are teaching the same doctrine. We've been telling you, Jakes, that ultimately we're living in a time of great evil that's about to ultimately manifest, man. You see? And I'm actually grab this precept as well, right? This is 2nd Esdras chapter 15. And I'm going to start at verse 14, right? Because these are the times that we're in, man. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, right? Woe meaning destruction, because that's all the Lord is bringing, man. You see? Verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, right? When something is nigh, that means it's fastly approaching, is soon to happen, And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, right? That's your race wars, your class wars, your civil wars, your gender wars, all of the things that are soon about to spiral out of control here in America real soon, right? Verse 16, for there should be sedition among men, right? And we're going to actually look up that word sedition, right? On Chat GPT, right? We're going to look that up real quick because this is ultimately what we're about to see happening here soon in the streets of America, right? And I'm going to type on it, what is the meaning, right, of sedition? We're going to type that in on Chat GPT and we're going to see what pop up, right? And what popped up was, I'm going to actually read it, right? It says sedition means an action or speech that encourage people to rebel against the authority or government. And that's what we're about to see happening real soon here in America, man. You see, that's what the Lord is about to bring upon this place. You're about to have all of these American people ultimately, uprising against the government. And like I said, that's going to be through everything that's soon to come about to happen in this country. You see, the dollar is ultimately about to crash. It's about to not be worth anything. You see, these jobs and things like that, people are about to be, out of it. You see, it's about to be mass poverty due to the AI that's coming in and that's taking all of the positions of these people. So, I mean, hey, a lot of people are about to soon come about to be fighting against the government and blaming them for the reason that this place America is in the condition that is in. So you're going to have a lot of people trying to, take up arms and, fight against the government. You're going to have that happening, man. You see, that's going to take place real soon in this country, man. You see? It says in simple terms, right, it refers to stirring up resistance, discontent, or revolt against a lawful government, often through words, writings, or other forms of expression, right? And I'm going to just go down a little bit more and we're going to actually read some more, right? It says, if someone publicly urges people to overthrow their government or refuses to obey its laws, that could be considered sedition, depending on the country's laws and context. But ultimately, what it's saying is that sedition is basically when you have people fighting or uproaring against the government or trying to overthrow said government. And that's what's going to happen here in America. Like I said, these Babylonians soon come are going to take matters into their own hands, right? That's what's coming. So I'm going to get back to 2nd Esdras 15 and 16. For there should be sedition among men, and invading one another they shall not regard their kings nor princes, right? That's talking about these police officers, these military soldiers, and as well as the politicians and government themselves. You see, these people ain't going to be caring about what it is these people are talking about when these people ultimately don't have any food in their houses due to the lack of resources that's soon about to come upon this place, or ultimately due to everything else that's coming down the pipeline. People ain't going to care about anything, man. Right? What does it say in Matthew 24 and 12? It says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Right? Cold in the Greek meaning psycho. So only thing people are going to care about in this time that's coming are themselves, man. Right? It says, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And that's going to be done by martial law, because ultimately, once these people start bugging out and doing exactly what Esau wants them to do, right? Ordo ab chaos, right? This devil's going to come in with the solution after seeing the reaction of how these people are going to bug out. And we know these people are going to bug out. So guess what? This devil is going to come in, you see, with full force, and he's going to lock down all of these cities throughout Babylon, right? And you won't be able to move around freely. And ultimately, it all goes back to the MOTB microchip, the Charagma, because we know that in the midst of all of this chaos that's going to be happening, you see, in the midst of the dollar crashing and everything else that's soon to come, these devils are going to slide in that MOTB system. Right. So only way you're going to be able to move around freely in the next coming days, weeks, and months, whenever the Lord puts the spirits on these devils to bring in this mark, then guess what? You're going to have to take the Charagma. That's what it all goes back to. Because like I said, these devils want to have complete control, man. Right. That's what it's all about. You see, but this is verse 18. It said, for because of their pride, right, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. You see, and these people here in Babylon the Great are extremely proud, man. You see, the men, the women, I mean, all of these people in this place are just haughty, high-minded, arrogant. You see, and that's why ultimately Yahweh Shem Yahushua is soon to come, about to bring all of these different types of miseries and plagues upon these people, man. Right? As it tells you in 2 Esdras 8:50, for many great miseries shall be done unto them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. So, hey, the Lord is about to bring nothing but evils upon this place, America, man. You see, and that's why we urgently warn you, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, ultimately to seek the Lord while you still can, man, because, hey, time is running out, man. These things are around the corner, you see, and everybody thinking it's a joke and it's fun and games till these things are right at your front door, man. You see? Because, hey, this devil's about to come in like a flood, as the scriptures have said, you know, because we're definitely in the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble, you see. And I'm actually grab that precept as well through the Spirit, man. 2 Esdras, right? Chapter 16. And I'm going to go down to verse 70, because ultimately this is the time of season that we are in, man, right? And it says, for there shall be, right, in every place and in the next cities, which is going to happen here in America, a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Who are those that fear the Lord? Talking about you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Because when this devil comes in with great wrath, who you think he's ultimately going to be, you know, looking at as his enemy? You tribes, man. Why you think everything that's happening in this place in America now, they're blaming the tribes for it, man? You see? They try to point Jake as being a bad guy in everything that occurs in this country. So when these devils come in with full force, you know who they're ultimately coming after first, man. Who they're going to be rounding up, sending into these concentration camps that, you know, Trump is funding ICE with the money to build all throughout America. Hey, you Israelites, man. You see, because like I said, we're in the time of Jacob's trouble, man, in its beginning stages. But it's about to heat up real soon, man, because all of these things are ultimately going to be happening in the midst of this time occurring, man. All of these different evils are going to be happening. Your chaos, you see these devils coming in with this MOTB microchip. Everything is going to be happening in these times, man. You see, and like I said, these things are at the door. You see, so it says, verse 71, they should be like madmen, sparing none. That's about to be Esau Edom with this man's military. You see his Gurga troops, right? And I also got another article that I'm gonna pull out as well through the Spirit, because ultimately, I'm going to just let the article speak for itself, right? Through the Spirit. I'm going to go and pull it up real quickly, right? But ultimately, these devils are moving, man. They're putting things in place. While Jake is out here playing and thinking everything is a joke and laughing and, you know, scoffing, coming up against his word, hey, these devils are putting everything in place ultimately to come against you tribes, man. You see, because you're ultimately going to be target number one in these times, man, right? So this is the article right here, right? And we're going to read it as well. But as you can see, it says Trump threatens to send more than National Guard to U.S. cities, right? So I'm going to go down and read it. It says President Trump early Tuesday threatened to send more troops to cities amid his crackdown on crime, telling U.S. service members in Japan that some places may need more than the National Guard, you see. So what is that telling you right there? If this man is basically saying that we're going to send more than the National Guard in. So who else is coming? That's telling you that these United Nations soldiers, right, that don't speak English, hey, they're going to be coming over here in these times as well. Like I said, this is what the stage is being set for. You see, chaos, man. That's what's coming, right? And like I said, the men of the Lord, we warned you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians that these things are coming, man. You see, so there's not going to be any excuse when these things happen. You've been told through the prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahushua that these things are going to happen, you see. But I'm going to finish reading verse 71. They should be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord, right? Talking about the military, man, right? Verse 72, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. That's what these troops are going to be doing, man. They're going to be snatching you Israelites up out of your houses, you know, separating you, your family, and your kids from each other, putting you all in concentration camps. I mean, hey, this is what's about to come here to the shores of America, man. This place is about to be ran like a third world country. All of these different, you know, places you see around the world where you got tanks and, you know, people blowing up stuff all around and stuff like that. You Babylonians think that these times are never going to come to America. But you people are sadly mistaken, because that's exactly what Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to allow to run rampant in this place soon come, man. Chaos, you see. The scriptures say it's going to be a time like no other. Right? Matthew 24:21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be, man. Right? So we coming into a time worse than anything, and it's fastly approaching. Right? We're already in it, but like I said, only in its beginning stages. We haven't ultimately seen nothing yet. Evils are only going to increase, man. It's only going to get worse around here. Right? But I'm going to read it again, verse 72. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses, man. Right? Esau is not going to be showing any pity upon you Israelites, man. If Yahweh Shem Yahushua is not with you in these times, ultimately you're not going to stand no chance. You see? But I'm going to go down, verse 73. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, right? The elect, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire, you see? And that's exactly what the elect are going to be in these times, being tried by the Lord. And guess what? They're going to be ultimately overcoming all of these times, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? And ultimately people are going to know it's the Lord's elect, because guess what? Why everybody else out here is going to be losing their mind, bugging out, you see, not knowing what to do, you see, crashing out and all of those different things, the Lord's elect are going to be stable, man. Right? That's Isaiah 33:6, how wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Because the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they don't have the wisdom of the scriptures. And these heathens don't have it. So guess what? These people are not going to be stable in these evil times, but the elect are. That's how everybody is going to know who the Lord is dealing with in these times, man. The true men of the Lord, you see, because they're going to be shining like that precious gold in these evil times, man. Right? But this is verse 74. It says, Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand. And that's what we warn you Israelites about. You see that these evil days are upon us, man. And they coming soon. It says, but I will deliver you from the same. And the only ones that are going to be delivered from this evil time is the elect of the nation of Israel, which Abaratazah, we pray and hope that we're a part of, you see. But with that being said, Lord's willing, I pray this video be edifying, just something quick through the spirit. Like I said, we are definitely living in times where things are about to heat up. With that being said, to the next time, I'm going to say shalom to the elect. Shalom.